Hey, I'm glad you came. This isn't the main LP, this is After Hours, the bonus section. It's here we'll be taking a look at the ins and outs of some of my favorite and least favorite parts of the game. Let's begin by taking a look at the many deaths of Laura Bow. Now this is going to be an ongoing section because there are myriad ways to kill yourself in this game. Considering it rewards and even encourages snooping around and exploration, poking your nose in the wrong place is going to get you killed. For every death, we'll rank them from 1 to 5 based on fairness, how easy it is to die, and atmosphere, which is what the death adds if it shows off some new part of the environment. So, this is the first room. It is in fact possible to die in the very first room in the game like I did. You're able to open this chute over here, and it sort of seems like it's giving you this clue that you wonder where that chute goes. Well, this is one time when it's not good to engage Laura's inquisitive nature, because she falls to her death. Now, because this is a black chute to nowhere, and there's really no reason for you to be poking in there, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a very fair death. We more or less earned this one, and granted a score of 5. However, it doesn't really add anything to the atmosphere, it's just sort of a useless trap, so we'll give that a 2. This is much more annoying. There's this railing at the top of the stairs, and if you so much as brush up against it, it cracks and you fall. I'm giving that a 1 in fairness because of the clunky controls, and because it doesn't even seem like you have to press up against it. Sometimes it just seems like it reaches out and grabs you. However, the mansion is referenced as falling apart, and this supports that, giving it a 3.5 in fairness. One of the other things you can do, although there's no real reason you're told to, is to take a shower. Lillian mentioned feeling a little dingy and dirty after the bayou ride, so excuse the cartoon nudity there. So maybe you figure it's good for you to go ahead and take a shower too. Well, here we get sort of our first glimpse of Killer there in the background, and a little shout out to Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock, including the famous shower scene where a woman is stabbed to death while showering. But man, you better have seen that movie or this isn't going to make any sense to you at all. Fairness is a 3 because there's no reason for you to take a shower. Atmosphere gets a 1, however. As you'll see at the end of this thing, once you find out who the murderer is, this death makes no sense. Well, let's go ahead and meet our heroine, the star of the show. She is a 20-year-old journalism major at Tulane University. Father was John Bow, a noted detective. Laura Bow is based fairly obviously off of Clara Bow, one of the prominent film stars of the 1920s and also one of its major sex symbols. In addition to the fairly obviously copied name, Clara Bow also was famous for her red hair, as you can see that Laura has that as well. That was sort of one of her trademarks, which I don't quite get because, as you can see, the movies at that time were black and white. But regardless, I guess people were somehow able to pick out her gingerness, and that was one of her trademarks. Now, the character of Clara Bow is more or less split between Lillian and Laura. As you can see, in the game, Laura is more old-fashioned, conservative, where Lillian is more of a flapper, and Clara Bow was absolutely a flapper. She was probably the epitome of flapperdom in the 1920s. She starred in a number of major hit movies, one of them being the one that you're seeing here, called The It Girl, called She's Got It, and she was known as the It Girl. She was famous for having sort of a wild life. There were all sorts of allegations about her personal behavior, mental state, and sex life. And in that, she probably follows Lillian more closely, but in appearance, she's more of Laura Bow. Well, thanks everybody. See you next time.